The hard place, like a wind from Goldland, he sweeps by, blown far from his homeland in search of glory and honor. We walk in the garden of his turbulence.
All right, movie fans. Hey, guess who's back on the podcast? Jason.
He escaped from the elephants and the monkeys.
Where's the gorillas? Where are my gorilla pics?
Hey, Jason Evans here with Jesse Nussman and Josh Sewell. Yes, I'm back from a couple weeks in Africa. Went to Victoria Falls. I went to Rwanda and saw chimpanzees, monkeys, and gorillas. I was literally 2 or 3 feet. In fact, at one point, a gorilla grabbed me by the leg and spun me around. It was not dangerous. It was just amazing.
and I would have still needed you pants.
He put his hand on your face, and you put your hand on his face, and you had this both moment where you were like, "We're all part of the animal kingdom together," and you said, "I see you."
It was not a bad Hollywood movie. It was real life.
He signs Jason.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I'm here to talk about the movies again, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys because just this week, in fact, just yesterday, I believe it was, we got the Academy Award nominations. The Oscar nominations have been announced, and we're going to go through, this is going to seem insane, we're going to go through literally every category except a couple, like the shorts and stuff, where, frankly, I don't think any of the three of us have seen enough of them to really have much of an opinion.
Sorry,
but we're going to go through all the categories. What's that?
I said sorry, shorts, folks, but
yeah, sorry. The shorts are outstanding. I love shorts, but I just haven't seen enough of these to be able to really weigh in on it. But in any event, guys, before we get to hitting each one of the categories, I want to start with Sinners, record setting. The previous record had been 14, held by All About Eve, La La Land, and Titanic. Sinners best that by 2. 16 total nominations for Sinners. One Battle After Another comes in with 13. Ordinarily, 13 nominations would be huge, but what do you guys think about the fact that is this shaping up as just a 2-horse race here? Jesse, give me your answer.
I don't know that like number of nominations always like leads to like this movie is definitely winning, but it I think is an indication of Sinners is a undeniable phenomenon from last year that like covers so many different categories of like you get down even into the like technical categories of like music and sound editing and visual effects and stuff like that, and it's sort of unsurprising that it got as many nominations of it as it did, if only because it is like, you know, it is the ideal of a big mainstream Hollywood movie that like fits all of these categories, and it seems like except for like a couple like racist people on Twitter who were upset that like we're basically like how dare audience members cheer on the KKK members getting shot up. Basically everyone like seems to love this movie, so I'm not really surprised, and it's exciting that it happened. Good on Ryan Coogler.
I'm shocked and offended that you would accuse of being racist on Twitter. How dare you, Jesse?
Why did we not get a scene where we sit down and they have a face-to-face conversation with Michael B. Jordan about the fact that he
talk it out,
lynched?
man.
Yeah, just talk it out.
So yeah,
I would suggest that those racists go talk to the vampires. I'm sure the vampires would be very interested in a calm.
Yeah. As Jack O'Connell said, like, sir, like I may be a blood-sucking monster, but I am no racist. But I would agree with Jesse that, you know, just the sheer number of nominations doesn't really say anything. If you think so, I recommend talking to Oscar juggernauts Amelia Perez and Joker. I think they got like 13 and 11 or something like that.
Yeah.
But and I would say to the naysayers who were like, well, yeah, but they added casting. It's like, okay, well, if you take away that nomination, they still got 15, and it would have still broken the record. So, but yeah, I'm in a weird position. Like, usually this time of year, we're whining and complaining about how lame and out of touch Oscar voters are. And, you know, my qualms this year are mainly of the, like, there's an abundance of riches, so not everybody can make it kind of gripes. It's just like, oh, it's a bummer that that's not here, but you can't really complain about who made it. So I feel weird.
I think I texted you guys that this is a fun crop of nominees, which doesn't mean it's necessarily like I agree with everything, but that makes it a fun crop to talk about because there's kind of like a handful of movies that I really love. There's a handful of movies that I think are good, but I don't have the same like enthusiasm as other people.
Yeah.
But there are other people to make those cases. And then there are a couple of movies that I'm like, I don't understand what you all are smoking. And it's kind of a fun mix of like international stuff, some more kind of Oscar-y prestige things, but then also like mainstream stuff like F1 and Sinners. And I mean, Weapons didn't get a Best Picture nomination, but Weapons is in there. Like it's a fun mix of different kinds of movie experiences.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway is I was watching the nominations and then looking at the list afterwards was I was like, I mean, there's some places where I would quibble here and there, but I didn't feel like there were any like outrageous, like there's nothing that I'm like, that is just wrong. I'm not going to go there on any of them. And it's weird because as I reflected on the year, like I didn't think it was a particularly great year. I thought we had some really nice stuff at the top. And then I thought there was a lot of like, okay. Well, the Academy managed to have found all the stuff at the top for the most part. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, you got it right, which is unusual. Dudes, let's do this. Let's start going through the categories because this is going to take some time.
Yes. Extra long episode. You asked for it.
Yeah. Get out a pen and a piece of paper. We're about to give you the real stuff. You can
put
use this
all of your money on all of our predictions. They're gonna hit 100%. Bet the house.
Guys, let's start with best visual effects. That is the last one on my list. Avatar, Fire and Ash.
I need to run down the Wikipedia page. Sorry.
I'm going in reverse order, man.
Okay, yeah. Go. Okay, now I'm there. Yeah, I'm at the bottom of Wikipedia.
If we're talking about like housekeeping stuff, if you go to oscars.org, they've got a nice little drop-down menu for each category.
Oh, I'm using Wiki.
There you go.
Best visual effects. Here are the choices. Avatar, Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, The Lost Bus, and Sinners. Josh, why don't you go first? What do you think is going to win? Or what actually, rather than picking what we think is going to win, what do you think should win?
This is where I say run up the table, and like I see no reason why Sinners shouldn't win here. If you have like this sort of overwhelming love that it's in that many categories, let's start up in the tally here. Like I'm not sure why The Lost Bus is here. I haven't seen it, so no judgment.
It's okay.
Jurassic World Rebirth was garbage, and the visual effect, like at no point did I think that these people were actually standing there with dinosaurs. I could see
you
something
weren't blown away by the poop monster at the end of that movie. What a just glorious visual design.
But God, that being said, terrible. Like if something like Avatar or F1 took it, I couldn't complain because those are examples of films where the visual effects actually did feel integrated into the film. Like it didn't take you out of it. They were immersive. So no complaints either way if one of those takes it.
So I was going to say, I agree with you. I think Sinners will win because I think there's going to be there are a lot of people that are just going to be like checking that box for Sinners. But I think the one that should win is probably Avatar, Fire and Ash. And my reason for that is even though we've seen this before, like we saw it in the last Avatar movie, the visual effects are incredible. They're really unbelievable. And the moment you put those glasses on and the screen lights up, you're in a different world. And that's not easy to do. And it looks crystal clear at all times. It has that depth that gives it the reality. I'm not going to penalize them for having done this before. It's still unbelievable. So that's why I think Avatar should win.
I'm just wondering how the how many of these voters are actually watching it on an IMAX screen with their goggles versus on their laptop with these new rules. You have to log in and everything. So it seems like something might be missing from the laptop experience. So I think a lot of that will depend on how many voters watch it the way James Cameron wants them to watch it. So
they're all watching it on like 720 on their iPads. You know what I mean? They're I agree with Jason. Avatar: Fire and Ash should win because Avatar: Fire and Ash is the only movie among these 5 nominees that has Varang, the just smoke show Na'vi avatar that has, brought the internet together into debating like interspecies relationship, maybe. And
Jesse's like, why do I feel funny anytime she's on screen?
Exactly. That's the reason Avatar: Fire and Ash needs to win this award. It's just we went on and on about like the narrative issues of that movie, but you can't deny that James Cameron is just making blockbusters on a whole other level than everyone else.
Okay, we're I think in agreement there. Let's get to best sound. F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Sirat. I'm going to go first here, and I'm going to say I think F1 should win this.
Yeah.
I don't think it will. I think Sinners probably will because I think we're going to see Sinners take a lot of these technical things. But so on my plane home from Rwanda, 20 hours on planes and the such, I rewatched F1. And even with the engine, the engine of the plane going outside, even then I was just like, I felt like I was in a race car. The sound design in that film is just outrageously great. And I think it
around you were like turning their heads and were like, what is with that guy in the back who's just sort of going like, like making
dude, I was not in the back. I was in the front. I paid extra.
So the people in the back were like, geez, those people in first class.
Jesse, where are you on best sound?
I'm gonna be the chaos agent here, and I'm gonna say Sirat. Which, have you guys seen Sirat? This Spanish movie that it played at Cannes last year. Basically, for anyone who has not seen it, it is kind of like what if Sorcerer, but for rave folks. It's like that kind of like atmospheric dread. It's got like vehicles going through like treacherous wilderness, but it's not like, a bunch of criminals in the jungle trying to transport nitroglycerin. It's like just a bunch of ravers trying to find a lost girl, but really they're just trying to get to the next rave. And this is one of those movies that like, I think the sound is so integral to it because it just has this like thundering electric score that is like also like mixing in with like the environment, and it is a sonic experience to sit and let wash over you. And so for that reason, I think that is the easy pick for me. Do you guys have you taken the journey with Sirat yet?
I have not. There's a handful of things I need to catch up on in the next few weeks before Oscar night. Sirat's one of them. I think I need to give Secret Agent another chance. I wasn't as warm on that one as a lot of voters tend to be, or as passionate as the Brazilian part of the Academy seems to be. So
speaking of which, did you see the like shade that the director of Sirat threw at the Brazilian contingency about?
No, wait, what is this?
Okay,
wait,
international beef.
Keep going. I'm gonna look this up.
Okay, but yeah, I will. I think I'm gonna, not do a lot of jousting on this one. I think F1 seems like the most obvious nominee here. I'll throw in for One Battle After Another as well. Like, I think it utilizes sound really well. But like I was saying at the top, outside of Sirat, which again haven't seen, I need to check that out. These all seem like worthy contenders. Not a big fan of Frankenstein, but the sound in that was fantastic. So
sure. The director of Sirat said, quote, if Brazilians submitted a shoe, it would get an Oscar nomination.
Oh my God, really?
Shots fired.
Yeah, check out Sirat. Turn your television as loud as it will go. Take an edible, maybe don't, because it's also a really visceral, like, no one is safe movie. But yeah, real shots fired at the Brazilian contingency right there.
Which I'm sure that they will take perfectly, calmly. They're not a passionate people.
All right, we got more Brazil stuff coming up. Let's move on. I'm going to keep us on pace. We're going to Best Original Song. Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless. Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. I Lied to You from Sinners, Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verde, and Train Dreams from Train Dreams. I think Golden is
Diane Warren going to get kneecapped again?
Diane Warren's like, she's like 0 for 18 or something like that.
She's
now.
The Susan Lucci of the Oscars.
Yes. I can't see any way on the planet that Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters doesn't. Which, by the way, like, no, you don't think Golden's 100% going to win?
Golden. It probably will, but it should be the Sinner song "I Lied to You." That's the banger of the year.
It's a two-way race between those, but I think I think "I Lied to You" is a very distant second. I think too many Academy members are going to be in trouble with their kids if they don't vote for Golden.
Yeah, I 100% agree. All right, let's get to Best Original Score. We've got Bugonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. Man,
this is not Marty Supreme.
They hate electronic music, man. Challengers didn't make it last year either.
It's outrageous. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Josh, what you got? Who you think who should win? I should say
Sinners has this in the bag. The Academy loves Ludwig Göransson, and he just so happened to have also made an incredible score. So, like, I don't think it's just like they see his name and vote for him. I think they see his name and hear that the score is incredible. These are some solid nominees all around. I really liked the Begonia score. But yeah, I think Sinners has this one in the walk.
Hum the Begonia score for me.
I was just thinking about when he's on the bike and it's like, butter.
Okay. Maybe because Ludwig Göransson like already has like won this award a couple times. Like maybe it'll go to Johnny Greenwood, who like is almost underrated at this point. Even though I kind of agree with you, Josh. I think the Sinners score is so unique and so integral to that movie that like I don't know how you watch that and are like don't just like automatically write that in.
I mean, there's some great scores. The one battle, Johnny Greenwood, the One Battle After Another score. There are times like during the iconic car chase.
Right.
The score is just carrying you in a big way.
People have been doing like samples of the score at like raves and concerts and stuff like that. If you guys have not seen those videos.
Yeah, and hearing it with, those scenes with Teyana Taylor at the beginning with that score in the background is just, that's what the word cinematic is for. It's, no complaints there, but I still think it's Sinners.
I'm inclined to agree with you, but either those two are real. They are a step above the other three. Let's get to Best Production Design. This is actually a really interesting one, I think. We got Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle, and Sinners. I mean, God, Murderers. That is a Murderers Row production design. Because, by the way, Frankenstein, for all its problems, the production design there is really,
that's not
really
one
good.
of them. Yeah.
All right, so who's gonna make the guy? I'll put it on Jesse first. Jesse.
I have Jack Fisk on the phone, who said that he is sending a drone strike.
Marty
on
Supreme.
On
Jack Fisk did. He did Marty Supreme, so folks understand.
Jack Fisk is the man, and listening to interviews of him talking about what the role the production design was going to have in this movie, it basically sounds like they just sort of like you hire Jack Fisk to just like recreate 1950s New York. And they basically just like turned like giant blocks of New York back to the 50s because of Josh Safdie's shooting style is like, I want to just sort of be in the moment and like shoot it kind of like, the same as I would have Uncut Gems of just sort of like, let's just be out in the street and catch the chaos. And so like that is a movie that like you feel the expansiveness of the world and feel like there's just like life happening beyond the frame. It's just happening like all around you, and you can turn the camera at any moment and there's some like weird person coming out of a shop with like baguettes or like, some kid playing craps in like a couple blocks down.
Josh, where are you on this one?
Yeah, I wouldn't complain to see Marty Supreme win this. This feels like one of those things that if something out of left field was going to take it, I could see it being something like Frankenstein or Hamnet, because they tend to love like, the further back in time you go, the harder it is or something like that is what it seems like the rationale is. But it wouldn't surprise me to see Sinners take this as well. Sinners feels like such a lived-in. Same with the argument for Marty Supreme. With Sinners, it feels like you can smell the juke joint. It's sweaty, it's gross, but not in like a bad way. It just feels like there's a bunch of people just drinking and dancing and having fun.
And there's a tactileness to the entire juke joint, and the geography of where you are at all times makes sense. That's not easy to pull off. I can see almost any one of the. I can't see Hamnet. Honestly, I feel like the Hamnet production design was sort of like, hey, we're out in the woods, on a farm. It just doesn't seem.
This is Shakespeare times.
They recreated the globe. That the staging of that, I guess, is what.
I just feel like the others are a step ahead of Hamnet, and I think if I have to pick one, I'm probably picking Sinners, partially because I think that there's going to be a lot of, like I said, a lot of checking of the box of Sinners. All right, let's get to best makeup and hairstyling. We got Frankenstein, Kuko, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister. I just want to point out that Smashing Machine, the makeup and hairstyling on The Rock, on Dwayne Johnson, it is pretty impressive. I mean, they do a good job there, but I can't imagine that Sinners isn't winning this one.
Oh, interesting. I was gonna pick Frankenstein. I mean, I haven't seen Kuko, and I have not seen The Ugly Stepsister, whatever the hell that is. But I don't know. I mean, I won't be mad if Sinners wins, but the makeup design, it is kind of the other thing of the production design in Frankenstein is it is impressive. I think the makeup design on Jacob Elordi as the creature is, it's. I
can see it. I can see it. I just think Sinners is going to win.
It's the most kind of it's front and center the entire movie sort of thing. And I genuinely am even though I run very hot and cold with Del Toro, he's always a great creature designer, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So if Frankenstein's going to take home anything this year, I wouldn't be mad at it for makeup. Ugly Stepsister is just, it's a gory take on the Cinderella tale. So just kind of cool to see another horror movie get an Oscar nomination this year. But I think Frankenstein takes this one.
How did Weapons not get a nomination for?
I know, man.
Oh yeah,
for Amy Madigan.
That's crazy.
Amy Madigan's hair should be a whole category.
Yeah, and the gore in that movie was pretty much all practical. If there was visual effects with it, they were subtle enough that it still looked practical.
There are so many cool horror movies from last year. I mean, how did 28 Years not get in there? How did Superman has some cool practical makeup effects with the big homie with who can change into different elements and he's locked in the box.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the baby. That guy.
Right.
That was a great makeup effect.
Justice for 28 Years Later's prosthetic dongs.
Oh
exactly. That's who should be our winner. No other movie had big floppy peen last year 28 Years Later.
Well, we added best casting. Can we get best dong?
There you go.
Retroactively go back and give Mark Wahlberg an Oscar for Boogie Nights.
Yeah, that will be a winner. Ray Fiennes wins this year for 28 Years Later,
Spoilers.
The Bone Temple. Spoiler, Jason.
Yeah. Don't ruin it for me. All right, let's move on. We're getting into some of the real categories here now. Best editing. F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. What is Sentimental Value doing in this category? I'm not sure. No offense.
No, I think that this is, before Oscar changed all its rules, years ago, the general consensus was these are your real 5 Best Picture nominees. That's not quite as true these days, but if we adhere to that, this shows you where the support is in Best Picture for the big contingency there. So I think that this just shows Sentimental Value has way bigger support than I think most people thought it was based on sort of critical reception and those precursor awards, things like that.
Put another way, it has way more support than it deserves. I mean, not that it's a bad movie, but I'm just
dang.
Yeah.
More shots
fired
fired.
at Joachim Trier.
International shots fired once again.
But rather than picking out the one that we think absolutely will not win, how about we pick out the one that we think will win? I will say again that I think F1 is a strong contender for film. There's some really, really well done stuff in F1, but I think probably, I could see one battle for sure.
One battle or Marty Supreme would be my pick, if for anything than like how propulsive both of those movies are.
Yeah.
And I think like one of the things I've been thinking about, just the mastery that Paul Thomas Anderson and Andy Jurgensen, who, I'll credit because he's the one actually nominated for Best Film Editing, but the way that movie moves at such a impressive clip, and where like you feel like everything is sort of happening right as it's meant to happen on screen, and it just sort of moves with this impressive like propulsion and flow, and like information is dropping, people are always in movement, the story is sort of like constantly enveloping. The way there's just like cuts in that movie that are so moving to me. The like cut from the baby chewing on the little like detection device in the basket, and then that like hard cut to now all of a sudden Willa is like a young woman and is in the dojo. That is such a like, every time I see that is such a like catch your breath sort of like, oh, I feel and understand the passage of time and the weight of time in that moment. So I'm gonna say one battle after another. I think the editing in that movie is just it's masterful.
Those are all good points, and I make the it reminds me of the Scorsese Thelma Schoonmaker thing, where just like with their longest films, somehow it's a nearly 3-hour movie that doesn't feel nearly that long, so it's got that going for it. But I think you can never underestimate the Academy to think that best equals most. So in that respect, I think something like F1 or Marty Supreme takes it.
I've got a question for you guys related to editing. The fact that Michael B. Jordan plays two roles seamlessly in Sinners, and they're on screen together. They dominate the entire movie. Is that an editing thing, or is that just a directing? Maybe is that a cinematography thing?
I think that's a visual. Yeah, that's a good choice, and I would love to hear someone break down like the specifics of it, because it's also visual effects too. Like it's really impressive.
Oh, it's definitely a visual effects thing.
Like that's kind of the big argument for that movie and visual effects, is how like seamless it looks on screen, and how much you can so kind of clearly, they don't look that different from each other, but like you can, they're very believably two people on screen.
I saw a thing that they like put a special harness, they called it like a halo thing, on Michael B. Jordan's shoulders so that they could move the camera around. They would use this to sort of move the camera around him and capture his entire face and all his expressions, at the same time as he was doing it for a different character. It looked really cool and like the kind of visual effect and the kind of filmmaking magic that you don't even begin to think is happening while you're watching the movie. I mean, that's when movie magic is really great, is when you're not thinking about how they do that. You're just like experiencing it. And I don't know where that kind of stuff falls in terms of the technical categories, but at some point there's going to be some technical branch that's going to be like, that was amazing, and they're going to give Sinners that award. And I don't know if this is the category, but it'll be in some of these categories at some point. Let's go to Best Costume Design. We've got Avatar, Fire, and Ash. By the way, I'm just going to say right off the top, all the costumes are digital. None of the costumes are real.
So they had to design them.
Nope. Not the same thing. Designing it in a computer and putting it on a human being, not the same thing. So Avatar, Fire, and Ash, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. All right, Josh, where are you on costumes? Is this a Frankenstein category?
Clearly, I'm a fashion expert, so take everything I say as gospel. This is a category for me that I'm clueless on, so I'm just going with Ruth Carter's won this before. She won for a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that she designed super authentic 1930s Prohibition era costumes that look incredible, I'm just going with that because it was my favorite.
You're talking about Sinners, and by the way, she
Sinners,
won for
yes.
She won for Black Panther, Wakanda,
Black Panther,
forever,
I believe
yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's worked with Ryan Coogler before. He knew who to bring on for Sinners. Where were you, Jesse? Where are you on
something else?
You give me your answer, and I'll look it up. I'll tell you.
Okay. Yeah, she's been nominated 5 times.
I mean, I feel the need to defend Avatar: Fire and Ash, but like, I don't know where I land in costumes. This is maybe the one where I'll say Frankenstein. The Frankenstein costuming is like pretty exquisite, but I don't know if that is just me being like, that is the most costuming. You know what I mean?
I mean, the robes and stuff that Jacob Elordi wears really...
The dresses that Mia Goth has are so, like, exquisite and are sort of like, how did you even get that on her? That looks like that's, like, 15 different pieces or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with, I just looked, both of Ruth Carter's wins were for Black Panther movies. It was Black Panther and Wakanda Forever. She was nominated for Malcolm X and Amistad. So this is her 5th nomination.
I mean, pretty good person to rely on. So
if she won again, I would, the costuming in Sinners is great. And it fits in again of like us talking about like how you can tell the difference between the two Michael B. Jordan characters of like, there's very subtle like costuming stuff she's doing to like from just like the color of their hats to even
toothpicks, baby. The toothpicks are doing work.
Toothpicks. One of them has like a single like gold tooth or something, or has like a grill on or something like that. Like there's very small little like costuming decisions that really help you be able to pick out like, oh, this is that character versus this other one.
What I think that so much of the character of Wunmi Masaku's character, I think so much of who she is and her personality is in her clothing as well. That I think that that's an impressive feat to me as well.
Can I also say that one battle after another should be in this? I mean, another like I almost feel like it's underrated when you're doing contemporary costuming. But
best bathrobe,
right?
For sure.
Like there are kind of like iconic looks that are coming out of that movie, and I think so much of the like present day parallels that people are drawing between that movie and what's going on in the country now are like very drawn to costuming and kind of what a character's costuming is making you think of. Like I was remarking with my family over the holidays when we watched one battle after another, like the outfits that the Christmas Adventure crew is wearing, like I was talking to my sister of just sort of like, what a perfect choice that they're all wearing like Lacoste and New Balance. You know what I mean? I'm just sort of like, I mean, no shade, I have a New Balance sneakers, but like, it's sort of like that is what those guys would wear. That just like tells you so much about them. So I feel like that movie is deserving, but enough said.
So we're getting rid of Hamnet in this category, and we're adding one battle. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think we can. Yeah. Let's get rid of Hamnet.
Or like I said, we could get rid of Avatar because there's no costumes.
No, we're not getting rid of Avatar. The Nav and their outfits are so cool. We need to. They made those. They like really made them.
All right, let's move on to best cinematography. Man, this one is just, I'm like, this is a really this is a hard category. We've got Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. And by the way, Train Dreams is a gorgeous, beautiful.
So great.
Oh, yes. Like, this category is a nightmare. Can I just say, can we give 5 Academy Awards? Those are all, man. Jesse, which one are you picking, man? Because you got to pick one.
I'm gonna go with Sinners. Actually, of like, if anything, I think there was a YouTube video essay I watched not too long ago that was basically explaining like the apparently groundbreaking way that Sinners was able to match both IMAX photography as well as like widescreen Panavision, which for those who don't know, like I think the last time it was used was the Tarantino movie, The Hateful Eight, but this like super wide skinny format, and that this was sort of the first time that those two shooting styles had sort of been like matched together on screen, which adds, and when you're not getting the IMAX sequences, you're still getting this huge expansive format that makes the world just feel like giant and epic. But you know, any of these others are like worthy. Maybe not Frankenstein. I think Frankenstein looks kind of bad, honestly. But all the others I think are well worth winning.
Yeah, and you know, Oscar has a chance to make history this time. Like I think if Sinners wins, Autumn Arkapaw becomes the first woman to ever win Best Cinematography in its 98-year history. So maybe they want to get on that before their anniversary hits triple digits. But if something like Train Dreams won, I couldn't be mad at it. Train Dreams is a gorgeous, gorgeous movie. One battle after another looks incredible. Marty Supreme, like, that's one of the first things you notice about that movie is just what the camera is doing. It's also our sports movie here. You know, sports cinematography is its own unique beast, and I think that he makes those table tennis tournaments really intense. And you know, you can say like, ha ha ha, that sounds like a silly sport, but you're in it. It's like a Rocky movie when you're watching it. But yeah, I agree. Like of these five, I think Frankenstein's your weak link, but even that one, to me, there's a lot of really gorgeous shots in that film. But compared to the others, I think that that's the one that we can sort of toss out.
I think this category comes down to when we're watching the show and they're going to show like little clips, you know, it's going to be the Miles Caton singing Blues Through the History scene versus the one battle car chase scene.
Absolutely.
And both of those are moments where my jaw was on the floor at what I was seeing on screen, not at the story, not at the acting, but at the cinematography specifically. And I was just like, this is art. This is perfection. Nothing will be better than this. And then I would see the other one. I go, oh, wait, nothing can be better than that. If I have to pick one, I think I'm going to go with Sinners. I just think, you know, confined space and what they do in that juke joint is just a little bit more than what happens in one battle. But either one of those could easily take it. Let's get to best casting.
Right.
Jesse, I
Marty
know you
Supreme.
love this category.
All right, let's move on.
We've got Hamnet. The nominees are Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. I'm kind of inclined to agree with you that it probably should be Marty Supreme, but man, the One Battle cast is really, really strong, and so is the Sinners cast. It's a tough one. Josh, where are you?
Kind of with Jesse on this one. I think all of these casts are phenomenal, but I think both Marty Supreme and The Secret Agent have just really good faces in them. Like, you know, One Battle has movie stars, Sinners has movie stars. Marty Supreme and The Secret Agent have like people. And so I think it all depends on, you know, this is our first year having this. We don't know what the process is for this. We don't know how they're going to go. Again, if you go with best equals most, like how many famous faces are in this movie, you know, I think Sinners or One Battle has it.
Does all have the Marty Supreme thing of like, think of all the like bit people in there, like whoever the army guy is that's just like interrogating people, or all the, oh my gosh, why am I forgetting his name? The one like famous SNL writer.
Oh, Jim Downey.
Who is like so hilarious.
Yeah.
There are like really creative bits of PTA casting in that movie as well, but like I've talked so many times about like how impressive the casting is in like all the Safdie movies, and how great they are at just finding like, where did they find this person? Who is this? Like, look at his nose. Look at that weird scar he has on his face.
It's just like they stepped outside of New York and you were like, you 6 guys, come here. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I want the star of the next Safdie movie to be like that one guy who like dressed down someone on the New York street. Have you guys seen this video? This is like my favorite video on the internet of like the guy who's like screaming at a trumpet player who's just like blasting near like a 9/11 memorial, and he's just like, "You suck, you suck. I walked Bob Dylan on stage in 1965, and you suck. I studied at the New York Film Institute Academy of Arts."
Okay.
I'm gonna send you guys this clip. It's my favorite video on the internet. It's so funny.
So Jesse says Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme.
I mean, I think Marty Supreme should win. It is just an amazing feat of casting. All the different, we've talked about this movie endlessly. All the different folks who are in the movie for 5 minutes, but for 5 minutes they just take over the damn movie. That's not easy to pull off. So yeah, I'm good with that. Hey, let's get on to Best International Feature Film, gentlemen. This is a really tough category. It was a great year for international films.
Yeah.
I kind of can't believe that No Other Choice is not nominated, but
yeah, the Park Chan-wook heads are really mad about that on the internet. They're throwing tantrums.
They should be.
I can't remember where I heard it. It might have been, I think it might have been Sean Fennessy on the Big Picture podcast, but he mentioned something I didn't think of, was that Park Chan-wook got into a little bit of trouble last year with the Directors Guild.
Oh, yeah.
For that movie, or for that show he did with Robert Downey Jr. on HBO, crossing picket lines and stuff. So I think that I think that kind of controversy might have hit it
Interesting.
pretty hard.
That's a great point. All right, well, let's get to the nominees. We have Brazil's The Secret Agent. It Was Just an Accident from France, even though it's really from Iran. Sentimental Value from Norway. Sirat from Spain, and The Voice of Hind Rajab from Tunisia, even though that's really from Gaza, I guess. I'm going to go first here and say, even though I think that probably Sentimental Value is going to win just based on how much love it's getting in some other categories, I think It Was Just an Accident absolutely should be the winner here.
Same.
It's a remarkable film, especially. It's a remarkable film, not even knowing that that the director, that Jafar Panahi, had to film it in secret because he and his cast could have been arrested and tortured at any given moment had anyone seen them filming. I mean, come on.
The fact that, like you said, he had to get another country to release his film for him.
Yeah.
Or he had to go somewhere else. Not like they were doing him a favor. It's a great film. But the fact that he knew that filming this in secret, Iran wasn't going to support this film. He was going to have to get help from somewhere else. But I agree.
And he says, after the Oscars are over, after he's done with his Oscar campaign and everything, he is going home to Iran, even though he knows he will face prison again and potential torture and all this other kind of stuff. But he's like, I'm an Iranian. I'm going back to my homeland, and I'm going to try and continue to speak truth to power there. He's an unbelievably brave person. I really, really hope that when he goes back and gets arrested at the airport, he's holding a goddamn Oscar in his hand. That is how it should be.
Bludgeoning the police with the Oscar. But yeah, and I'm wondering if maybe this could be like a potential Argo situation, where the fact that it is absent from Best Picture and they know that this is probably their only other outside chance to give it some awards love, maybe that'll help. But yeah, I know we're not at Best Picture yet, but the fact that it's here and not there is baffling to me.
Yeah, I don't know what the reason is behind that, but I would agree with you. I that would be my pick. I won't be disappointed if The Secret Agent wins, though. I really like that,
which it very well might.
I really like that movie. Sentimental Value, I'm sort of soft positive on. Sirat.
Yeah, I'm the same on Sentimental. Yeah,
Sirat would be a very.
But guys,
weird
it's
choice.
about the power of film to change lives. Hollywood hates that stuff. The Academy notoriously hates patting themselves on the back.
Can we please? All right. Let's go on to our next category, Best Animated Feature. Arco, Elio, K-Pop Demon Hunters,
that's it.
Little Emily. Yeah, or Zootopia 2. This is K-Pop versus Zootopia, right? There's absolutely no chance for anything other than that.
Zootopia 2, highest grossing animated movie of all time, apparently.
Highest grossing American animated film of all time.
Yes. Highest grossing Hollywood
animated film, yeah.
Okay. Neja 2 out of China.
Neja 2.
Yeah.
Neja too, not good. How do you think China feels about that?
They're clearly not as powerful as the Brazilian branch of the Academy. This is another one where I think K-pop Demon Hunters is going to. Zootopia 2 is wonderful and delightful, and K-pop Demon Hunters is going to win.
It's Zootopia is surprisingly critically acclaimed for a sequel. It's made nearly $2 billion, and despite that, K-pop Demon Hunters is a legitimate cultural phenomenon. So
it's the only one of these that I have seen. So that'll be my choice, and it gets the stamp of approval from the children.
For the kids.
Let's move on to Let's go to best adapted screenplay. We've got Bugonia.
Boo!
Frankenstein.
Boo!
Hamnet.
I guess.
Is Hamnet based on Hamlet? I don't.
No, it's based on
book
Maggie O'Farrell's novel.
No, I know. I'm kidding. One Battle After Another.
Yes.
And Train Dreams. Train Dreams is the first. What, Jesse? Your voice. So which one do you think should win?
It's One Battle. It's no close. It's no contest. It's One Battle.
Yeah, this can be the shortest conversation we have. There's absolutely no question that One Battle should win this.
Yeah, and it's the fact that the next sentence out of my mouth is Paul Thomas Anderson is going to win his first Oscar for writing this screenplay.
It's outrageous. That is outrageous. The man's
been working for 30 years, and this will be his first Oscar.
Yeah. We'll go to best original screenplay. We've got Blue Moon.
Ooh.
It Was Just an Accident.
Ooh.
Marty Supreme. Ooh. Sentimental Value, and Sinners.
Sure. It's a great category. This is I'm a little higher on sentimental value than you guys are, but when that's your weak link in a category, that's a great category.
I think this is a Marty Supreme versus Sinners. I mean, as good as Blue, the other nominees are not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I think this comes down to Marty Supreme versus Sinners. I actually think that probably we're going to see Sinners win this, just because there's so much momentum, and it is a very original, very very thoughtful and smart screenplay.
Would be a chance for them to directly give Ryan Coogler an award and not have to worry about oh gosh, is he going to walk away empty-handed in the night? I think It Was Just an Accident is another very strong content. I think Jafar Panahi winning this award, I mean, that's maybe my pick, but I won't be disappointed if Ryan Coogler wins or if Ronald Bronstein and Josh Safdie win for Marty Supreme. I mean, both are great screenplays.
I think it depends on how political the Academy wants to get with this. This is one of, I think, 2 chances only to get Jafar Panahi up on stage holding a statue and making a speech. Ryan Coogler should have won this for Fruitvale Station, and he should have won it for Creed. So the fact that he's got another bite at the apple, and it's a great film, I think it should be Ryan Coogler.
All right, let's get to the acting categories. Best Supporting Actress. We've got Elle Fanning from Sentimental Value. We've got Inga Ilbostar Lilias. I think I pronounced that terribly, but I'm going to try.
Wow, good job with that.
Also from Sentimental Value. We've got Amy Madigan from Weapons, who I think the three of us all very much liked when she won the Atlanta Film Critics Circle Award. Wunmi Musaku and Tiana Taylor for One Battle. I'll go ahead and say, it was my vote. I think Amy Madigan in Weapons is incredible. Takes over the movie in the back half of the movie. There are no bad choices here. I could see, Weapons, Sinners, or One Battle, any one of those 3 actresses winning it. But my choice is Amy Madigan, and this is our chance to honor Weapons, which I think missed out in a lot of different places in these Academy Awards where it probably could have gotten more recognition.
Yeah, I think it's just the unfortunate thing of that would have been the 4th Warner Brothers movie get in here, because F1 is also a Warner Brothers Apple collaboration. So I don't got anything to add. It should be Amy Madigan. That is one of the standout performances of the year.
Yeah, it's a 2-woman race between her and Tiana Taylor. I'd be fine with either of them winning. There's not a lot of paid their dues, it's their time kind of win nominations this year. She's the big one. So we'll get to the other big one in a second. But I'd be totally fine with Amy Madigan winning this one. Tiana Taylor has got a decades-long career ahead of her. It sounds awful to be like, wait your turn. That sounds really condescending. But just because Tiana Taylor disappears from the film so early, she makes an incredible impression while she's there, but then she just disappears. Whereas she's at the beginning and disappears, Amy Madigan's not in it till the end. So I think her impression weapons makes a much stronger impact because like she's what brings everything home rather than launches everything. And we're humans and our memories are short and we remember the last thing that's in front of us. I do want to put in a good word for Lilius though. She was one of my picks for supporting actress when I voted for the Atlanta Film Critics Circle. She to me was the least showy performance in that film.
In sentimental value,
which to me made it seem the most realistic, the most lived in. Oscar voters usually hate that. They don't like subtle. So the fact that it's here is surprising to me. But when it's there with Elle Fanning, they're canceling each other out, unfortunately.
Yeah, so, exactly.
I think she gives the best performance in that movie, and it's probably like the least discussed. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Best supporting actor. This is just a murderer's row. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
We got Benicio del Toro for One Battle, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo for Sinners, Sean Penn for One Battle, and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. My God, this is
this might
great
be the best category all year. This could be the year's best category.
Delroy Lindo, what a surprise! What a pleasant surprise!
I'm so excited to see his name there.
Oh, and he was so great in that. I mean, like all these. By the way, Jacob Elordi, far and away the best thing in Frankenstein.
Yes. I think your enjoyment of Frankenstein depends on like how much does the movie like go up once it switches to the second half and he's on screen. Like how much are you willing to forgive like the awful first half?
So Josh, you said in supporting actress that the two Sentimental Value actresses cancel each other out.
Yes.
In best supporting actor, I feel like Sean Penn and Benicio del Toro are the two front runners. I guess maybe is Stellan Skarsgård maybe, but I feel like those two guys, that's to me the most difficult choice.
Before
and
these
they
nominations
both won
came
Oscars before too.
Yes. Yeah, before the nominations came out, I would say just based on precursors that this was Del Toro's to win because I think, it's Sean Penn, getting him up on stage is always risky. And this will be his third one. It's like, do we really want, Sean Penn and Daniel Day-Lewis in the same
And Sean Penn is not someone that Hollywood love. Not that he's, openly disliked, but he's not sort of part of the Hollywood culture and the such.
The perverse side of me would love to see him get on stage and whatever the hell comes out of his mouth, which I'm sure would be dressing down a lot of the people in that room. But I kind of don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, and there's another the part of me that's yelling into the wind. Is it Sean Penn's not a supporting role in One Bad Lap Another. He's
the lead.
He's on screen about as much as Leonardo DiCaprio. And
I think more. I think he's on screen. Well, maybe it's close. Yeah.
But I do. Before these were announced, I would have said this is Del Toro's. It's a two-person race between Del Toro and Stellan Skarsgård. I think the rapturous joy that everybody had when they heard Delroy Lindo's name, I would love to see the momentum shift to him. This dude should have 4 Oscars by now.
Yeah.
He got criminally overlooked for The Five Bloods back in 2020. That was the year Anthony Hopkins beat Chadwick Boseman. Delroy Lindo should have been in that conversation.
Should have been the winner that year.
Yeah, and so the fact that he's here in such a tough year in this category, it's so
wait, do you know this is Delroy Lindo's first nomination?
Yes. It's insane. That's what I said.
How the hell? What?
Yeah. He should have won back for Malcolm X. He's been delivering incredible performances.
I mean, name any Spike Lee movie, like Clockers, the Crooklyn. I would nominate him for. I mean,
he's great in Ransom. He's great in a Ron Howard, Mel Gibson movie. Like the dude, like, talk about paying your dues. Like I said, this dude should have 4 of these already. And so the fact that it's his first nomination, I could totally see this love fest changing the momentum. Stellan Skarsgård, again, not a supporting actor in this film. He's the lead.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell?
Though another one of those people, kind of like Delroy Lindo, where it would be like a career sort of like, oh yeah, how have we never given Stellan Skarsgård one of these? Like,
by the way,
he's been working for decades. I think the first time Americans noticed him was in Good Will Hunting.
Wait, this is his first Academy Award nomination.
Right, like that's insane.
How's that possible?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I think it all depends on, are voters going to view this as a makeup Oscar, and if so, who are they making it up to? Because both of these guys should have some jewelry on their shelves already.
I'm still giving it to Benicio if I would give the pick, which may be the only thing that's still keeping juice in the Benicio narrative is literally, I think every single person. I'm talking like non-film critic people that I've talked to that has seen one battle. They're like, that's my favorite character. Loved Benicio del Toro.
He's the heart and soul of the
that
film.
section of the movie with him.
He's the true conscience of the film. Like he's showing people like him are the reason anything gets done and moves forward, while people like Leonardo DiCaprio sort of like stumble through good luck and other people's work into the foreground. It's characters like Benicio del Toro's who are actually making the sacrifices and doing the hard work, and their only thanks is a few small beers.
Well, and the narrative, I should say the story moves forward because of his actions. And it is a classic supporting role. This is truly supporting. He is the one who forces the main character and other characters into the places where they need to be. He puts the pieces, on the table, so to speak, as opposed to coming in and dominating for a little while. And yeah, I want it to be Benicio. I think that's the best performance. Let's get the best actress. Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Kate Hudson, Song Sung Blue. Hey, thrilled you got nominated, Kate. Good for you.
Do I need to see that movie? Is that movie good?
It's fine. It's fine. It's cute. I mean, you won't be bored or anything like that. It moves. Yeah.
I'm not a Neil Diamond person, so that's kind of why I wasn't.
Oh, that might be a problem then.
Okay.
I would say. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I'll let you finish your list.
Let me finish the. Renee, I can't pronounce her last name.
Renate
Renata Reinsve.
Thank you. For Sentimental Value, she's an excellent actress, just outstanding. And then Emma Stone for
run
Begonia.
Me over with the dump truck anytime she wants to.
So yeah, Emma Stone's making history this year. She is the youngest youngest actress to get 7 Oscar nominations up to this point. She got 2 this year, 1 for Best Actress, and then she produced Begonia, which we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, Emma Stone, is she the new Meryl? Like, she just gets her name on the ballot just because she made a movie.
I feel like we can eliminate the last 3 names. This is Jessie Buckley or Rose Byrne, right?
Yes. Months ago, I would have told you Buckley had this in the bag. It feels like the air is going out of the Hamnet balloon a little bit. Like, or is this going to be their chance to be like, this is your win? Like, clearly
I still think this is a pretty like locked up, like it's going to be Jessie Buckley, but yeah, I'm
agree.
Here to say it should be locked up for Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, which I think is in the toppest, most like 2 or 3 best performances I saw last year in anything. Movies, television, just being a person in the world. She's incredible in this. It's basically like the one-woman Rose Byrne show.
Right.
Yeah, I think Jessie Buckley's going to win, but I think Rose Byrne should win. But,
did you guys see that?
I have no problem with Jessie Buckley winning. And I think, by the way, if you feel like Hamnet doesn't have momentum, wait till the BAFTAs happen. Hamlet's going to crush at the BAFTAs.
No one loves Shakespeare like the Brits.
There you go. Best actor. This is probably
another Murderer's Row.
This is not fun. We got Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leo for One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, wonderful, wonderful performance. You're not going to win. Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent, wonderful performance. You're not going to win. Chalamet.
I don't know.
Well, no.
I would not be surprised.
Don't
if
count
any
him
of these
out.
people won.
No, I will tell you right now. It's going to be Chalamet, Leo, or maybe Michael B. Jordan. It's going to be Chalamet or Leo. I think it's probably.
It's not Leo's year. It's not Leo's year.
I think it's going to be Timmy C.
I don't disagree with you. I think Chalamet pulls it out. I think it's much closer than we think it is. That international
I think this is the most like neck and neck acting category.
And depending on how nostalgic voters are feeling, Ethan Hawke's had a surprisingly strong campaign run. This could be like a Goodwill kind of Oscar. Dude's great at campaigning, and he's been around since the 80s. Wouldn't surprise me. And this is the first movie in a while where people like Oscar voters could say he's capital A acting because he's a really good-looking, rugged guy playing a short, dumpy, bald guy.
It's sort of the inverse of the Rose Byrne conversation of like that movie is the Ethan Hawke show, essentially.
Yeah. So I think Chalamet has the edge, but it wouldn't surprise me. I would love if Michael B. Jordan was more competitive here, particularly because he's playing, I would argue, not just 2 roles, but 3 or 4. You know, he's playing Smoke and Stack, but also one of them as a vampire, and also one of them as a decades older vampire. Like, he's playing multiple roles here. I'd love to see him win, but yeah, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if Chalamet comes away with the trophy here.
As much as you guys are talking about Ethan Hawke, I will tell you, I went ahead and I checked like the odds and the prediction markets and such. He is 5th out of 5 choices and a distant 5th in all this, the people betting with their money, and people betting with their money are putting all their money on Timothy Chalamet. He's like 75% on most of these prediction markets.
That'll be fun. I would love to see Leo win for like what I think actually is like one of his best performances instead of The Revenant.
But he was really cold, Jesse. He was really cold.
And just every time I see One Battle, I just find that performance like so deeply moving. But yeah, it would be insane. I mean, like Marty Supreme doesn't work without Timothy Chalamet, and it will be so much fun to see him get on stage and basically be like, shout out Kylie Jenner, and then point to the camera and be like, Daniel Day-Lewis, I'm coming for you, you son of a bitch. And then like everyone in the audience being like this young man doesn't have very good manners, and for him just to get up there and be like, I'm gonna destroy all of you and walk off stage.
He's not very modest.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'm gonna plant my flag here. If the Monday morning after the Oscars, most of America is looking at Google going, who is this Wagner Moray guy? Why is he holding an Oscar? It would not surprise me.
The people know who he is. They don't know by his name, but they'll be like, oh, the Narcos guy. He won an Oscar? Yeah. Okay. And then they'll check out that really weird movie.
The guy from Alex Garland's masterpiece, Civil War.
Oh, God. Not happening. Guys, let's get to Best Director. We're almost done here. We got to wrap it up soon. We got Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, Ryan Coogler for Sinners. I am not allowing you to say anything other than PTA or Ryan Coogler. Yeah. Those are the only choices you're allowed to make.
It's a two-way race.
If PTA does not win this award, I'm gonna mail a box of poop to the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences.
I mean, I will say that. Look, we've said the name Sinners a lot. Sinners deserves a lot of Academy Awards. Ryan Coogler was incredible in that film. In terms of directing that film. PTA must win for One Battle. To me, it's
Ryan and Josh are the future. I have full confidence they will make other great movies. This is our chance to award maybe the great filmmaker of his generation who made probably one of his best movies this year.
It would. I think it all depends on. I mean, yes, agree with everything you said. I think it all comes down to, is this a spread the love kind of year, or is this a Sean Baker and a Nora kind of year?
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. And we will see. Let's get with that to Best Picture. 10 names on this list, even though there are only 2 names worth considering.
F1, baby. F1.
Run through them, because I know a lot of people who like see the Best Picture list and they're like, okay, these are the movies from last year I need to catch up on. So run through them for us.
We have Begonia.
Ugh.
F1.
Woo-hoo.
Sure.
Frankenstein.
Ugh.
Hamnet. Yeah.
Sure.
Ugh. Hamnet. Marty Supreme. One Battle
Woo!
After Another.
Woo!
The Secret Agent.
Woo!
Sentimental Value.
Sure.
Whatever. Sinners.
Woo!
And Train Dreams.
Sure.
Yeah, Train Dreams is a little woo.
Great.
Little woo. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, this is absolutely a one battle versus Sinners race. As much as I love Marty Supreme,
you think the Hamnet momentum is gone? Like that has evaporated
Hamnet's
by this
the dark
point?
horse here.
Gone. No, there's no chance. No, you must be kidding me. No,
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying if there's a movie that's competitive outside of Sinners or One Battle, I think Hamnet has the outside track. I don't know why Frankenstein's here. I'm in the.
It's because
I guess we're in the minority on this. F1, I thought it was fine, but I get why it's here. This is proof that more than just creatives vote for this award. All the technical people also get a vote, and F1 is.
I got no problem with F1 being here.
Technical mastery.
It's sort of got in the spot that people for the last several months have been kind of holding for Wicked or Avatar, and then both of those came out, and again, not film critic people, normal everyday people I know who saw both of those movies like came out and were like mediocre at best. So it's just there wasn't the enthusiasm, though this was able to get in.
Since you brought those up, I think Best Picture might be the place to finally talk about the absolute collapse of Wicked and Avatar. Avatar got 2 nominations. Wicked got 0. It got 10. The first Wicked last year got 10, got 0 this year. I think that happened because people saw it. The end.
Yeah, I don't think it's complicated. I think the people who really liked the first one and even Wicked fans kind of like went into the second one. They were like, yeah, it's the second half of the show. It's kind of like this was always going to be like a weaker dish. And then like even the people I know who loved the first 2 Avatar movies kind of walked out of this one and were like, that felt a little bit like going in circles, and I'm a little done.
That was an Avatar movie. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I saw. So yeah, it's I feel like the hype in those kind of ended up going back where it should have been from the beginning, which is these were sequels that were always going to be received less well than their predecessors. So I get why those aren't here. But yeah, like we said, for all of these, this is primarily a 2-movie race. This is Sinners versus One Battle, just like most of the other categories.
And I think this may be an Academy Awards where just sort of the nature of the way these films came together and the such that we end up with One Battle winning Best Director, Best Picture, taking
screenplay
screenplay and an acting award for supporting actor. But then we tally up all the awards, and that Sinners may win. It may be that like Sinners gets 7 statues, One Battle gets like 5, and we're sort of like, okay, well, who is the big winner? I think One Battle probably is the big winner here, but because it takes the major ones. But I think
it'll be interesting as a sort of like coronation crowning of like Warner Brothers. You guys did it last year. Like you gave the people what they want, and like you had like a great diverse lineup of movies, and now you're going to be part of Netflix or the Trump administration, one of those 2.
Oh Jesus,
probably Netflix.
So yeah, it's I think you're absolutely right that Sinners could be the Mad Max Fury Road of this year, where the official winner was The Revenant, but a decade later, we're still talking about Fury Road, and we're like, "Hey, remember The Revenant?" Not that we're going to do that with One Battle. One Battle's
a masterpiece.
Time,
yes,
yeah. But yeah, it's so. I think this is a year where I'm genuinely excited to watch the ceremony because, I think there are very few places where we're going to be like, that was a travesty. We may just be like, if something wins that we don't expect, I think our reaction could be like, huh, okay. We may not agree.
What if Begonia wins Best Picture? Joachim Trier wins Best Director.
What fantasy world are you living in?
Ethan Hawke.
Wagner Moura takes home Best Actor.
Kate Hudson wins Best Actress.
Oscars like, we choose chaos.
Sean Penn gets on stage and basically like chews everyone out for
just
not
lights
letting
the auditorium
come.
on fire.
Like, you guys aren't doing enough to support Ukraine.
Okay.
Actually, guys, I have to say that. So like a year ago, it was like Anora versus The Brutalist, two remarkable films that no one saw. This year, I do like the fact that it is One Battle versus Sinners with a little bit of Marty Supreme sprinkled in there, all three of which are box office hits.
Well, I think if you look at the numbers, I think One Battle, super critically received, overwhelmingly received by critics, didn't make a bunch of money.
Yeah, but you know what? It's been number one HBO for 2 straight months.
Yeah, streaming, it's killing. I'm just saying when it was in theaters, didn't make a ton of money.
Yeah.
No, it made over 200 million worldwide. Now, I'm not saying, look, it had a big budget, like 150
It's one of those
plus
movies,
million.
it's kind of similar to the Sinners conversation in that, like, hand-wringing we all do about box office and about, like, if 2 weeks pass and a movie hasn't made back its budget, we're like, oh my gosh, a catastrophe. Whereas, like, One Battle is one of those movies that's going to play the long game. And all the people who were writing the, like, hand-wringing, like, how will Sinners ever recoup its money after opening weekend? Were all, like, proven wrong, basically.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Still by far the most financially successful movie of PTA's career. Yeah.
Well, the other thing I was going to say, having nothing to do with the finances of Hollywood, just in terms of the number of people who saw these movies, who appreciated them, who talked about them, I think that this is a different Academy Awards than we've had in recent years, in that films that were widely seen, that everyone knows something about those movies, are the films that are up for the big awards. And I think that
there's a lot more, quote, mainstream movies compared to, this feels closer to like a Barbie Oppenheimer that year, as opposed to last year, which felt like a lot of the more kind of like smaller distributors and art house fare.
Yeah. And I think you're right that I think it's going to be a very beneficial year in that the front runners, you can already watch them at home.
Yeah.
Aside from like Marty Supreme, which came out at Christmas, not a lot of Marty Supremes this year where you're like, well, now I got to wait 2 months for this to hit streaming. It's like, oh, Sinners, One Battle, I still need to see those. I'm going to fire up HBO Max,
Yeah. Exactly. All right, guys, with that, we're going to wrap it up here on the latest edition of the movie Joust.
Wait,
back in your feed.
Who do you think's going to get slapped at this year's Oscars? What do you who do you think's going to shit the bed? Think we're going to have a viral moment?
I think when Chalamet wins Best Actor, he's going to do or say something up on stage, and it won't be an accident. He will have planned whatever. Like, this is a guy
wait. I cannot wait for all of the
cultivating
needless freakouts the next day.
It's going to be when Wagner Moura wins the category, he just gets up and storms out through the back doors.
I want Chalamet to get on stage and dress down like the entire industry and basically just be like, no one wants to see Marvel anymore. No one wants to see Jurassic Park. We want One Battle. We want Supreme. And he just like lists the nominees and then is like,
so you think the star of Dune and Willy Wonka is gonna hate IP?
Yeah.
Also, see my new franchise movie later this year.
Exactly. All right, like I said, we're wrapping it up here. Latest edition of the Movie Joust. That is Josh. That is Jesse. I am Jason. We'll be back in your feed very, very soon. I have no idea what movie. Oh, we're going to be talking probably about what's the movie about the stranded on the island?
The Sam Raimi movie.
Send Help. Yes. New Sam Raimi. We'll have that for you very soon. Until then, we'll see you at the movies.